Alright, so welcome back to the Grung for a podcast, people. You don't know another episode of the Chachanis, the realness, bag and madness. I don't know, we have Kenton.
Yo.
And we have Kwame Dan.
Yeah, tsunami, you know?
I don't know, we have Chance in the place. And you have me. So,
What the fuck I got now?
Does that mean you're 4?
5, bro.
5?
Bomba clad. 5. Can't count that. So yo, you don't know this week I guess, you see me? And you don't know them money when the money apart from time, you see me? We're there in the streets and the ground in the hustle. And them money kind of show little levels right now for the career advancement, and them money ensures a reach certain place, you see me?
straight.
So a real brother. Our next brother will bring for the podcast, dog. I'll be a brothers will bring for the podcast. You see me say, you don't know, we have jam skull in the steam, brother. On the block, on the ground.
One time, you know, give thanks to the strength, man. I don't know if come through and so I go on, because like how the vibes are kick off, you see, man. You know, you get that introduction from still, I can't mean what talk about, but you know, we appreciate it still, we give thanks.
This is the lyrics already.
So yeah, dog. So you don't know deep on the ground, dog. You have the topic generator, you see me?
Straight.
Generator.
So just do the do and so I go on
Shake
idea.
it up in order to make sure.
Why?
Why?
Press the button that is right here, circulate, please.
You know what you're operating the account about. You already topic them, yeah.
A manual labor, brother.
Yes.
Very much a manual labor, brother.
Alright, so choose classism in the Jamaican society.
I'm not discussed this already.
Discuss this already?
No, we discuss colorism, not classism.
Yeah.
How would you kind of lead towards classism?
Alright, so I thought about classism. See? Alright, Monday. Classism, brother, you don't know the thing, brother. Alright, once again. What the man then think? You think it real? You think when it in that people head, you think people are mad? Or you feel like people really discriminate against other people because of them socio-economic standpoint of where they are in life? Or them family did that. But the last name gene is a real gene or people are make it up. How do you feel about that part there?
Well, definitely, we can say, not just in our society, by the way, just generally in the world. Something exists. There's no doubt, or there's no going around the fact, say, based on where you come from, based on the amount of money you have, your family, lineage, all them things there. If you come from the right bunch, like them say you're born with the gold spoon in your mouth, you're more likely to have more opportunities presented to you. You're more likely to be able to really reach certain heights, probably without going through as much as another youth. Probably you have more potential than you know. Have you see me? So there's no going around it. It is there. The older I get still, I kinda realize say it is somewhat a necessity. That sounds controversial, but it is a necessity. The class structure in society is necessary. You see me? That is my view still. We can expound upon that some more, but maybe we'll have to say about it still first.
I mean, classism, yeah, that exists. I mean, in Jamaica, definitely, you know, people feel, as I say, rightly, people reach further based on them last name, based on the amount of money them have, based on them links, all of that, and them, we don't understand about that, we talk about the fact that people also stop opportunities from getting to other people and certain people reaching to other places because them don't feel like the person in the same class as them, don't feel like them as rich as them, don't feel like them have the right last name. So the person don't forget what them forgot, the person, yeah. Because you come from a certain era, that means you are more prone to do certain things in terms of you're prone to crime. So you gotta grab my bag, you gotta grab my chain, and you gotta shoot my picnic because you come from the area, yeah.
True.
And then again, you come from the right garden again. You're upstanding, you're good people, you see me? Yeah man, you don't do certain things, you're not thief, you're not rob. You see me I say? You're not wild out.
What does he say? Wrong yard.
Wrong yard, bumbo.
You should have said something like cherry garden.
Who this brother?
Podcast, brother.
So please pause while we have a commercial break.
Okay, on a podcast, brother.
Alright, has no mention Adam?
The man beat up you like a police, Reggie.
Bam, 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 bam. Open up.
Classism at its best.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
man, a classism, man, I tell you. Yeah, man, actually a tip of the garden, you know?
Yeah,
Wrong
man.
yard.
Wrong garden, put it there, cherry garden. No one
Yeah,
can
man,
power
no
those
money
things.
can have it. Them
Yeah,
would even
man,
reach the gate. of
King
a
of
bus.
Land, brother. I can touch the gate,
Man.
you know?
But for me still, I kind of would have take it from the angle for say. Yeah, we believe say classism is a social construct. You see me? People not even born with this mentality, them just born and come see it, so naturally them follow it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
part of the system, you know?
Yeah, it's a system and basic sometimes me even look funny for say, yo, if me start par with art, if me as a youth now, me born in a cherry gardens, me grow in a cherry gardens, my parents have money, I'm rich by default. Me I go operate from a standpoint, not only how when me I go think about it, but when my peers in that class tell a thing. So if me say, me go in a cherry garden and me book a you like Kenton, cause we go to the same school. I'ma start par with him, I'ma find out say I come from Tivoli Garden. Classism extends to the point that you even find yourself, not saying you don't want to par with him, but you have to think about what your friend them are going to say. And then in return, you know, think you're going to become that class or the lower class, or your class are going to drop. So to me, it is a social construct that comes with, majority of it starts with the mentality where them growing up.
Yeah.
You see me? It starts with the brain first. Because not like you get up and you be like, oh yo, you see classism pan. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You
Oh,
can
yeah.
pinpoint and say, oh that's classism, way. And you go, because you spend too much time around classism, you become a classist. No. It's a it's a mental state
So,
where I feel say, yo, because it is a mental state, it can be changed.
Definitely.
You see me? So that's my view on it.
Yeah, as everybody has said, I'm not going to agree to, don't know it is evidence that classism exists. As Jay just said a while ago, I'm going to follow up on that and say, oh, that's something we can change because classism, and that's something we happen over time, or overnight, per se. You see me? When people build generational wealth and everything there, you see me, they can start off as the lowest level of criminal and anything there. Let's say, for example, yo, my name is Mr. Chin, Mr. Lee Chin, you see me?
Yeah.
Privilege.
When I was born and say, yo,
Hypothetically speaking.
hypothetically speaking, of
True,
course,
true,
of course.
allegedly.
When I was born and doors just open to it. You know, probably when we just start out, we did at the lowest level of society. Yeah. We grow myself and by the time my kids, for them kids. You see me? The whole other criminal past them gone. You see me? So, I want to tell you them say, oh, not because your last name and you know, Matalan or it's a leeching and my food and everything there. You see me? Not like, create the mental block, say, oh, nothing can go on for you. You can,
You can
you see
start
me?
your legacy.
Start your legacy, you see me?
And create your family.
And create your
Yeah,
family.
for your
And,
Jammo.
and there's an angle to take it from as well, not just like, you know, the upper class feeling that they're better, but the lesser class feeling that they're, or not the class that is perceived as lower class, feeling that they're less, feeling that they cannot change the narrative and they cannot change them socioeconomic existence. You see me I say, you can for real change it. Social mobility is a thing.
Definitely.
It's a hard trad. And understand that it do start with one generation. Every generation have to come and make it better.
Make it better.
So
Exactly.
you can start the change, but you have somebody else you pick for come do the right thing as well to make the change and make the move. But again, from that aspect as well, where because you're born in a certain place, you have to make a move. You have to develop yourself, develop, you know, people around you as well, and then make the move, make the right moves. You see me? That's it, basically. And I just want to point out the dog make a very valid point where the upper class. You could talk about them for 2 seconds. Talk about them
Guys.
For them pitney now come and say daddy with $100 million. You know, for them head, you know, daddy work hard for this 100 million. Yeah. Daddy, you know, he go work every day, invest right, he made the right moves. It's a bumbo, listen. All wealth and that are just facts, brother. Most of you know with the wealth, I cry.
Straight.
You see me?
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
I cry. You see me? I say, you
And
know,
they take it from somebody.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, no one even that
Cause-
and allegedly.
I cry, brother. It's just that parents, now bringing up on the level yet for understand or showing the vibe. Because really and truly, that is part of it as well, where you know what, you do what you do, so your child and have to come do what you did do. You get me, I say? So part of it is also, you know want make your child know, so you did move that portion of Alicia keys here, from point A to point B, and get that portion of money here. Well, understand that part, but if you still impart to your child the truth of the situation, which is you do the necessary evil to make them lead the life that them lead. The false pretense of making them feel comfortable and hard work and they invest right. Man, the man wants to say, listen, pussy world. I had to do some things that I can rather not say. So don't come waste this money here and come feel like this 9 to 5 thing here. No. We did what we needed to do.
And I think just to add to that, it is important that I think in some realms the parent must actually have the reason there with them youth and say, yo, I did have to do this and I did have to do that. And I'm not proud of it, so I don't want it to be a case where you come up, you get influenced by certain people in that class there as well. Because you have some generation where don't break the tradition. If me did chop and me did thief that land around there, so me I go grow you with that mentality that say if you want something, go thief it, not ask no question. So I think it's a responsibility of, like, as you said, generation after generation, stepping stone. Well, I reason with the youth and say, yo, listen, me have to, because of my father and because of him father, I get that land there and I thief it and kill the man around this and I don't want to hear that.
And that's generality, because even though we are talk say, we are talk generally, not all persons with wealth are criminals. That's a fact. You have people who are hardworking too, right? And so to Chan's point though, that conversation, regardless of how you get it, you should have with your kids them. So for example, if you did so in a legitimate way, make a youth them know, say, yo, work hard for this, you know. Because what you find happen with, like, especially as the generations fall along with your wealth, the generation 2, 3 generations from where it actually start from, them basically born a situation where they take it for granted and them feel like it's power. You see me? They don't understand, say, yo, whether or not me was a criminal, me have to go through this, or whether not a hard work, me have to go through this, if it did it. So you find most of the time, they're the ones who in most cases, them use it just for the power, but them not really appreciate, say, yo, where it come from. Whether they want me through bad means or good means, whatever the source of that come from. Make a youth them know and say, yo, this is how we go through for reach over there now. You see me? And so, are you supposed to build upon it? You're not supposed to just bad night and feel like, say, devalue and everything. Because it happens.
And everybody generally should, that should be a conversation you should have right across. This is where we are, this is what we have, this is where we're coming from. This is where you need to be going.
Yeah. And even if you're lower class.
No, but this is generally, that's a conversation you should be having with the children, where this is where we're coming from, this is where we're going, this is what we have. Please, don't fuck it up.
True.
That should be a conversation we should be having.
True.
You see me? But just as I say, for them people there, just like how we can say, yo, we come from Tivoli, we come from the ghetto, and this is what we're doing, and this is where we're going. You're supposed to can say, yo, you're in a big man, we move that piece of food here from point A to point B, brother. This is the 100 million result from this. We're going to move forward with this. So we're not going to move that piece of food there again. We're going to do better.
Exactly.
Yeah. But I don't want to touch that fucker.
And as before we leave the topic of classism, I have to mention, because we talk about classism, I have to mention the actual structure of classism and what it causes in a society, you see me? So, for example, when I really think about classism, I think about the level of opportunities that is provided to each class. That's where it comes down to really. So, the higher class seemingly are presented with more opportunities than the lower class one, you see me? And so that actually is what keep classes in structure, you know? We keep the poor man poor and the rich man rich. That same structure, you see me? That's something there. why a youth can born in the ghetto and be a Usain Bolt, full of talent, but him have to work 10 times harder than a youth who
The right last name.
with the right last name. When he
Seemingly no talent
then a
as
youth
well.
when he when I my food them are
Where they people
Azan,
talk?
Azan.
My food, Azar, Leechings. Hi, hello.
yes,
Yes.
yeah, you see me? So
Matalads and
that
the
class
things, you know?
structure
Just
is
call them
really
names, man.
it is really designed to keep you in a box really. That's what it is, you know. So it keep the rich
And
and
the
it
poor
keep
poor.
the poor man poor. You see me? And so and yes, you can extend them boundaries there. As you see it many times. You have a whole heap of success stories. And as a youth, no matter which level at the ladder there, you should be aiming to go higher either way. You see me? Whether you want to be a middle class person, you want at the bottom of the pyramid, pew pew. You see me? Whatever it is. You should be looking
even
to
if you're there.
yeah, even if you're top, there's another step. There's another step up.
There's another step up.
Remember, say if he's a millionaire, you can be a billionaire. You know?
And a billionaire can be a
You can be
trillionaire.
a trillionaire. You see me?
But we touch back on actually educating your youth on it. You guys think that there's a negative repercussion in that aspect? For example, they think the reason why them actually try to shield their child from that life is to prevent the child from actually wanting to see what that life is actually about. Because, for example, if my father tells me, so yeah, I'm usually chop back in the days, and I getting all of them building and all of them plaza I build up and them thing there. You know, him want me to go to school, work hard, take in my education and do that. He would probably think, say, yo, I need to get my father's for me there. Why me need to go to school and learn when me can just go around one corner and start chat to? And the thing say, yo, that can be a negative repercussion of it.
But you see, it comes down to the conversation we're going to have.
Yeah.
Remember, I said that the point of having that conversation, you know, is to let you know, alright, this is the ground floor. The ground floor part. This is how it starts. You see? But go through all of that, or my father go through all of that, whatever generation it start, had to go through this to bring over there right now. So you born in this situation. You not have a chop. You can tell daddy buy me a business. You see me? Or my car dealership. You see me?
Yeah.
Or go train a
And it's-
hotel.
yes,
You
so-
can do them things there. So you don't have to go back and go sell drugs like me. So that's the conversation you can have within that light where I say, alright, this is how it start. We go through all of this. If we can do that situation and now, you're
So
cool
you
enough.
is
Have to
not-
build upon it.
It's
You're
not
not
to
supposed
do
to go
what
back.
I did.
Exactly. You have to
So,
go look forward.
yeah, so
So
right
if
now-
anything, you should supposed to know I go to university, come with some idea, come with some new businesses. Your children can go university too. No, just bring it in further.
So,
That's the
yeah.
game.
So at the end of the day, the conversation where you should have is, as Akele rightly say, is building. So me I say to you, I say, look,
It's like
again,
ground
I move this piece of food there for do this. I move this, so you not have to move this. Because at the end of the day, when me I go to prison, you can't go to prison because you did
Alright.
nothing wrong.
Alright.
And me I go wrong, me do wrong. And probably 100 million out of the 200 we have now is still illegal. But me I go down with the 100 there. You see, you're 100, safe and clean. That is why me do what me do. So you don't have to do what me do. And if you feel like you're going to do what me do, you have a problem. That's the conversation you should be having.
It's really just emphasizing key points in the conversation. And the big, just as long as we Kenton say for Bill, the other part of the spectrum which is very important is to let you know that there's many ways to achieving success and not just the way that I did it.
Right.
Because it's what, just like a ghetto youth, you do what you're born into and what you see, and based on your level of education, your level of reasoning, you think that you can do that. So if me as a man, if me not have certain level of education and me in a bad situation, I go think say for rob and thief, as opposed to a man that is educated with business, he might go think say, no, I'm not going to rob and thief. I go buy 2 sweeties, sell it back. So it just boils down to say, listen.
Alright, me not like that.
Or we might chop two things, you know?
Alright, me not like that.
What do you mean?
In the sense that they are, believe me, you have very educated people with no choice. You have people with degrees on the wall where boss gun daily. They have no
I
choice.
think the point I'm trying to say, man, I think him really are focused on like he might say where you come from. So for example, if you're born in the ghetto, just be plain. If you're born in the ghetto, you're more than likely 80% of the youth them you have the exceptions with higher level of thinking. 80% of the youth them, how do we get other ghetto youth do? Then probably turn to crime, probably look at robbing, then probably on the corner show them and make them do nothing. Probably start chopping at the thing, you know. So that's the way you know. Versus if you're born in a different situation now, where you're born uptown, you necessarily wake, you know, really grow up on that. You probably grow up with an uncle who own a business they run it, so, and a brother who owns some car dealership run it, so. So you more likely, unless you really want to go, of course you have the exceptions, unless you really want to take on a side unnecessarily really, because you would have to, you see me? You know that was pure idleness, that would not be a necessity. Comparison now to the youth that get to, we have survival to him in that moment, you know. Seem like a way it's necessary.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm trying to get a chance to say better.
Yeah, man, that's
Yeah.
So say it better. That's what I said to you.
I honestly think you'd have defend me better, but the point is, God, I may listen to you and I say, Akele, nah, but anyway, just to clarify, it's not about the choice. It's not about, yo, I'm there, I say, anyways, it's not about the choice, it's not about the circumstance. Me, I say, yo, it just me, I say, the fact that you have a more level of reasoning. Understand that I just because of my you know, like how your parents would have say, yo, me want to make sure say you go college because the furthest me you go to high school.
Yeah.
You see me I say? It's just to say, now that you are in a different time with a different level of reasoning, I did what I did because of my time and my level of reasoning. So you don't have to do it because you are at an advantage. You have the funds, you have the exposure. Brother, the internet did it. You see me? So that's really what I say.
Yeah,
but it's still not really pinpoint down to the level of reason to a chance. You really pinpoint down to the fact say you're now in a better situation.
Yeah, I get
That's really, because it comes down to the fact say, yo, me did in a situation there, you know in another situation, yeah.
Yeah, but
much better.
it's not even necessary for boil down to the situation per se, because that can happen in an event where I'm going to get to you, my mother, really, she get pregnant early. First she go to high school and she work hard and me go to college, so it can apply to that as well. You understand? So it's just to say, yo, brother, me and your father, you know, like how Masika talk to him, son, grandfather. In my time, whatever. You see me? Me did have to go around so and kill people, but me and give the strap to protect yourself, not necessarily take life. You get me? I say?
You see the example, man. Masika talk to him, grandson. Yo, it's crazy.
Yeah, dog. But at this point, dog.
Yeah.
That's the worst example of that. Let's
end this with that, because the man choose the worst example.
Let's go to another.
Oh, pets.
Pets?
Those pets, sir?
Yeah, which do you prefer and why?
Which between what? What I try to say?
Your pets, brother. What your pets, brother?
Choices are pets.
Anybody can take. People have fucking
that's vague.
snail. People have lizards. People have snails. People have snakes. Yeah, fuck it.
Pets. I don't really talk about pets. Okay.
Yes.
Alright, Kenton, are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you aware of that, bro?
Yeah, man, I'm right.
Want to get in touch with the feminine side?
You're the man now.
I'm being myself, I'm still as a Charles down now. This man have Charles father?
No.
No, but I'm not even mentioning that.
Let the podcast know, say, this brother have a pet. Lock out the pet.
Him not lock out the pets.
No, sir.
A circumstance led to where Charles could not come in the house. That's it.
That is true.
That is it.
Because Charles, alright, so my cat jumped through my kitchen window in the night when everybody's sleeping and cannot come back inside. Yeah. Simple as that, brother. So, in cannot come back inside.
Alright, and since then broke more by time.
Yeah, so what am I going to do about that? We can't find the dog.
So, hold on. So, my dog, I just want to ask something, dog. Because my dog said something really when we did a meeting. So, the man said, so it is feminine to be attached to your cat or your pet or have a pet?
Just soft conversation still.
I understand what I'm saying. It would not be, for example, a topic you would put it there. You would put a topic there.
Yeah, come here, 3 pets.
Okay. Well, I would not.
So people who've had pets or have pets, people who have not had pets.
Alright, problem now. I defend my 3 youth them, my 3 that.
No, I have nothing against pets, you know. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of pets, so. But bear in mind, I have one dog and back at me, I don't know. But I just one dog.
No, but that's what I say. I think a pet is what is defined as like a level of companionship or relationship.
That brings me to you now.
So you're not in a relationship with the dog,
brother? I have no companionship with the dog then.
So it's not a pet then? You just have an animal in the back of your yard.
God, dog.
Man at the back of your yard. You can't get nothing at the back of your yard, brother.
You don't get nothing.
But that makes sense still. I mean, I don't have a pet, but if I was to choose, I choose a cat still, because cat them just basically self-sufficient.
Yeah.
So like how the cat them behave
Them
themselves.
exactly.
Like them behave themselves and them want to behave themselves. Them very clean, so them when they want to go shit on them thing, them go find a hand corner and scratch it up and cover it up. You don't have to do none of them thing then.
Just
You
feed
see
them that.
And you feed them when they're ready. I mean, don't feed them too good, because you need them to go hunt on them thing to get rid of the lizard and all them thing. I think that cat me that good still.
John said, dog.
I don't necessarily
Chance of
have
chi.
I don't necessarily have a preference for pets. It's just that I have a huge liking for dogs. But I have 3 dogs. I have 1 German Shepherd, Rottweiler mix, 8 months old.
So
What's
you
it,
have a
9?
mongrel?
You know. Yeah, it's a mongrel.
Okay.
No, but it's a
Yeah,
very
so-
special mongrel.
So yeah. So can you try pretty it up, you know, guys? Once a dog mix, it's a mongrel. You see me?
Some people think say mongrel is a bad thing. You know,
Yeah, it's
like-
not a bad thing.
Based on the
You see me?
mongrel, let me see a road. My dog up there where I come to
Some
about.
people think say mongrel means your ribs, you know?
You see me?
Ribs outside.
No.
Yeah.
But when I read, me have 3 dogs, me have 2 little Shih Tzu, 1 male, 1 female, and rare. But I prefer based on a new exposure to cats. Because before this, I never say I hated cats, but they just move like teeth too much, brother. I'm not too like animal that move like teeth like that. You
Yeah,
see me?
naked.
So, but you know, I get to appreciate cats more, dog. Because cats have a vibe, brother, based on what I charged you said earlier. Them just self-sufficient, them just there. When you can call your habitat. No problems. And when them want like a companionship, them come rub up on your cousin and yeah, you see me and gone about them business and that's it. But we don't want a snake still as a pet.
Yeah, let's watch too much YouTube video about that.
We don't want a snake. Not even
Wanna
not
kill
even one
my
of them one
snake.
they will go.
You know what a lion too?
When I kill
Couple
my lion.
tigers.
I mean, lions.
Jaguars.
Brother, you
Lions
have
will be
pet
fun.
snakes and bro, why you going to?
No, that's a mental snake. You have pet lions too.
You have the money if you clear that at customs, much less you come talk about a pet lion.
Well, yeah, dog. Obviously, I don't know. Everybody's supposed to know by now. My cat, Charles. So, yeah.
As allegedly, because
Charles-
when I see Charles for 2 weeks
Yeah,
now,
dog, Charles
you
has-
know, man, I'll pack up him feeding tree and water bowl around this
I
way
said,
and that.
dog. Look at this. Look at it. Didn't know. It's like pointless at this
Yeah,
point.
him I say. Charles could be dead. Charles could have find one new yard and somebody take care of him better, obviously.
Kenton
So
just
him
how
not
big
bother
dog.
return.
Charles, I'm done, man.
Charles would have lost in the street. Somebody could have take Charles and thief him. We do not know.
All Charles scale this girl, them a come in the yard more than
See,
Charles right now.
alright, see there? That mean them a look for Charles and them brother. That means
Me one time I see one of them pull up on me and say, yo, where your man there? Because I know me can't see the dog a forward back.
So that means say Charles are there fear yard, you know.
Move up, man.
Charles are there fear yard, you know. So
Classism.
where is Charles?
Classism. You move up, man. You now come back here.
So, yeah, dog. Cats. Cats just to do my preference, dog. And, yeah, I've had a cat.
Alright.
So, next topic again.
Yeah, that was nice.
Alright, look at topic. Alright, look at
Not
job.
that bad.
Decent, brother.
What's the first thing you would do if you woke up with a penis or a vagina? So, for me, if I woke up with a penis, that would be very good. To mean that I'm still a man. And I can continue my life as is.
Yes, I swear.
That will be for me.
I swear. You see based on how she structured the question there, at the direction I'm going to go, because it's the penis or vagina, brother. So, you know,
Yeah.
what kind of know what she means still?
I hate Patrice so much.
She means if you're female, if
You wake up as a man, and if you're a male, you wake up as a female.
What would I do? To be honest, I like being a man still, you know. Like, females go through a lot, brother. And I would not want to go through such things.
I would not switch roles.
I enjoy being the male. Put it that way.
Let's be honest.
I enjoy
I
being
will
the
eat
male.
that, brother.
If it happened,
Yeah, let's deal with it.
Oh, you do that.
but you know me that be, but me that be, you know me that be a G in the streets.
You probably handle it better than most.
Yeah,
Still.
but that be a G, because you that already, me assume some I still have my experience as a man in my mind. That a
Yeah.
guy, right?
Say that have experiences with females that you have put.
Exactly.
So you know you're able to apply
So
the,
me that be
the
able to
actual.
maneuver
Yeah.
and both spectrum. Me that be able to understand being a female experiences, but also how to deal with man. Because me used to be a man. So weird.
I think
Yeah.
At least I go be shot in fuck too.
What are we going to talk about this
You
time?
know what is?
By the way.
Now they explain how I'm gonna deal with a man. So.
Hold on.
Yo, but alright. To be honest,
Hold on.
from when I listen to Akele's and I say, alright, cool. Him say something when I just want to point or maybe challenge to say, yo, you're gonna say, yo, you're going to be a man basically in a female's body, correct? That's basically what.
That I understand the question.
Yeah, alright, that's what I understand and nobody not disagree. So that way I work. I don't really feel like you're gonna go through certain experience that woman go through because you then before were acting as you maybe have the emotions of a woman, you know. But you remember say your mind start with everything. So I don't really feel like you'd go through certain situations a woman go through. Because you'd don't see the play. You'd don't see the match certain way.
Yeah, but no, but may I talk more from like
So I wonder whether this is for the rest of our life.
Yeah,
Yo, why you asking question the dog?
Yeah, it's a one day thing.
Cause brother,
It's a wake up
brother,
one day
brother.
thing or it's a rest of your life thing.
Because if you, brother, rest of your life, that means you're going to live out the rest of your
Yeah,
life.
live for the rest of your life. Yeah, be a woman.
I won't eat that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Cause
man,
if I one day,
you don't
for example, if I one day, I just stay inside for that day, brother. You see me? I just stay inside for that day. I wake up back tomorrow as a man, I'm going to go for the streets again, you see me?
Properly me there in the mirror still and I say, how can I life this? Like, because me I stay home. When I looking at the mirror and I say, I'm not treated. Yeah.
What kind of question is this? What is this? What is this we're talking about on the podcast, guys?
You look at the mirror and say, Chano, shit, good.
I'm gonna have split ends and them things.
No. Bear in mind, say she does say you wake up with a vagina, brother. She never tell us say you wake up with a vagina. You just wake up with a
fuck
vagina.
up.
But brother, you wake up with a man in a vagina, brother.
You mean me going at the mirror and me look down and me I try to hold something for piss. And now me have to stoop. The fuck? Yo, that's where this my youth. The fuck it all come out.
Brother, there's no way you wake up with a vagina.
Yeah, come out and say that. And worse if all, them catch me upon, you know, like when you join a company and they catch you upon a fortnight. Put they catch me upon a period too. And then fuck they come reach me in a day. Me have to leave the house to go buy. And this blood cleat.
I'm going to call it down to my next expense. Yo, you go on there.
You are going now?
Have a situation.
I can't come home, my period start today. Like, what?
Anyway, in conclusion, we're very happy being males, okay?
Straight.
Yeah. Leave it there, sir. To be honest, I joke around with the idea of it, but I don't even want to imagine that still.
Who for be woman or woman or who for be man?
Yeah, exactly.
No, that's
We'll
not
We'll go. Unless I got born over and then be a woman, and even that I don't want.
Still try explore this mind. Still love No, this brother.
If I do here, take us.
Shaking it. You're shaking it.
And they shake it.
I see that in your life, Kenton.
They're hilarious, dog. They're not fuck up in that. They're staying for real,
Who
brother.
you know for feel, dog?
You would know if do, brother.
And then imagine how you are trying to find clothes to put on for go outside.
Because you don't need it for your period.
You don't know the
What? Guys, move on, if you have please. I beg you.
You choose the next topic quick, dog. We can't leave this way. You.
That's a channel for Reggie.
I'm black underwear and
Oh.
Man, have this mad sound, man.
My name, yo.
Yeah, man, have this mad sound, man.
Yo.
That's crazy though.
That's mad.
I just want to point out at the end of this that we do appreciate our females.
Straight,
Yeah,
straight.
We understand what you go through, hence
Yeah.
we do not would like.
We said it on the
Exactly.
last podcast.
Exactly. It is based on our appreciation for you guys
And understanding.
and understanding
Mhm.
while we're with us.
We're saying we're saying thank you but no thank you.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you.
Alright.
100% customer support.
One more time.
Oh my god.
Jammo.
That's funny, dog.
Please, yo, be a shaky topic I join my youth.
Tertiary education in Jamaica. It's kind of vague still. You don't really ask a question. You don't really want to know, like, what are you asking actually?
If it is shit, yes.
If it's good or if it's
But
Yeah, if,
alright,
if
so
it makes sense, if it
alright,
doesn't.
so I can ask a person who's actually been there, done that. Chance. Does it make sense?
Alright. There's many angles other people could take this to say it doesn't make sense. Again, everybody who listens to the podcast is supposed to know this is opinion. This is not fact. But
Yeah.
Sometimes.
I have one angle that I always take it as when it comes to that. So this is it, right? Pointing attachment to classism. Me grew up in the ghetto. I go through high school, whatever. Pass the university. You get accepted, you know, pass for you get accepted. And now you have to find the money.
Pass for you.
You want to pass for you. You have to find the money now to pay that tuition then. Naturally, a lot of people default to SLB. Right? So I'm go through SLB. Remember, you know, this is the angle. I'm not thinking about no other alternative. This is just a streamline. You go through SLB, you pay all of that money, No, this is where my problem comes in. You tell me to do this degree for how much years? I get the piece of paper. Me now, naturally, when I study, I go pursue a career in. When I go there, then I go say, alright, yeah, we see you have the education, but where is the experience? That's one point. The second thing is, you don't get the job, so now you're in a job that you're overqualified for, and you have SLB pressure in your back, and you're being underpaid, and now you have to struggle with SLB. So that, them 2 points there, are really why me say it no make no sense. In Jamaica, you have other countries where, to me, them educational system makes sense. Like, my pre-Netherlands and my pre-New Zealand.
But look at this from this angle. What if you could afford university though?
Yeah, that's what I said. My angle was that.
Yeah, so that's actually the point I was going to make. If you're able to go through university and your parents or whomever is paying, you are by all means go through university, do your years, and get a piece of paper.
Get a degree, Get your degrees.
If it's a case where you don't have that comfort, by all means do what you want to do. But I would not be advising anybody to. Because in the current climate, in terms of jobs, careers, in a pretty in Jamaica. You see? Fact is, no for we are gonna left university with a degree, spend 4 or 5 years. We're not gonna say thank you for calling Amazon, how is it? You know what I mean? You're going to work at a call center. And then SLB, depending on your program that you did, like SLB is taking at least 20 grand a month from you. Call center,
pay back for you pay back that for all your productive years in our work.
Yeah, because SLB I give you 20, 30, 40 year loan to pay it off. So
when you go say you leave university, mid-20s, that's all. And you add 20 years to that, you know.
Or 30 or
40 today, you know. In your 40s, 50s. So you don't really get enough time to pay it off and then say you want bill. Because bear in mind, meanwhile you pay that loan here, you want to buy a house, you want to buy a car, you want to start a family. It can be hard to do all those things.
And it can be done, but...
It can be done, yeah. The persons do it.
It's an uphill battle.
Yeah, and for me, I'm not going to knock anybody who decide to master that route or not, you see me? But it just do what you feel is best for you in your situation. Yeah, we can examine the situation and read the room and see.
And for example,
is feasible.
If the program that you're in and you know that there's a job market, people want these people to work. You know, so when you leave, you can get at least an internship, a tenureship. You can get a 6 months, a 8 months, a 3 months. Then by all means. But if you know that the job where you're going is saturated, brother.
Yeah,
don't take up enough.
Like you have enough persons who are going to university right now for like a business degree and everything there.
Yeah, don't take up
a business degree.
Yeah, don't take up.
What you gonna do with that? Don't take up. Start a business online if that's your one go.
Don't take up yourself and put yourself $3, $4, $5 million in debt for a job market that there's no guarantee that you will be employed. Like there isn't. Like I don't. Again, if you want to do it, again, man, not nobody, but to me that makes no sense.
True, because a lot of us will just leave university and they end up working on call center and everything. Get calls with all your qualification and everything. And then you just can't survive. Like, all you pay, I got to paying back this SLB loan when you got to pay till you're 50. And then when you're 50, you try to figure out how to make life. So.
But I think it's really hard. So we covered...
Hold on, I'm not like
that
brain and work over there, dog.
Yeah, because I'm kind of still confused in regards to what exactly the viewer or the suggestor was trying to get at. Because, alright, for me, the tangible thing, school being there versus just having an education at that level, at a tertiary level, because you don't necessarily need to go to UA to have that, to be educated at that level.
Yeah, man, that's
So,
what I say.
my thing is, me always pray, and again, guys, this everything we say right here, so
Opinion,
is
opinionated,
opinionated.
yeah, that's
You see
what it
me? We not say your own need for this. You see me? My thing was always, I'm a practical person, more. And for me, I think school is just because of the whole syllabus and everything. School is just really for guide you into what alright. Know this, levels where you need to actually know. Because, alright, previous, somebody can go through years of UA, where come out, and then after that, them apply for a job, them get the job, them fall in and say, yo, Jammo school. Now we get a one work, you see me? This them tell me for you. If you want to work, we can just show you exactly what the people them want to do. And then we can just work to that. So we can just cut out the whole of the bloatware, as we would call it, and just get to the point. So that me think with school. School really, because of the whole syllabus, they really bombarded a lot of things where they really need to know. But when you go on the job itself, half of the things are more than half of the things that they really need to know. We just need to do a need to know basis. And that's why I'm really not deal with school, like physical school. Education, I don't have education. I need to be educated.
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily need to be in a school settings to get that level of education. Unless, again, you need the guidance which is brought on by the syllabus.
Facts. And him right.
Bumbo clad.
That's basically
Big
what
brain moment.
That's basically what I was going to touch on for say, we covered the part where after, let's say post tertiary education with the SLB law, he makes a very valid point, because if you take in the level of frustration or the main reason why students at tertiary level have so much frustration, because they're trying to facilitate processing a lot of information that is not needed.
Yeah.
Remember, we laugh about it regular, but medicine, until this day, you get a job, you meet girl, you do this. When has Pythagoras theorem come into hand? When have you sat down and said, yo, carry the x minus the 2, you don't use it. And that applies, that's just maths, you can apply it to other courses. And I feel like, yeah, cut off the fat, get straight down to the meat and the muscle and the bone, and tell me exactly that. If I personally, and I think this is where masters and anything that would make more sense, is that, yo, if I want to extend that knowledge
Then you go into that.
on that scope or brand the scope, then you step up.
Thanks to touch on that point, because we made about physics still, and this basically, alright, so schooling overall, not just tertiary, on all levels, because you're right, most things that we learn in school,
It's useless.
in a tangible, we're not going into the world and use a lot of things that we
it's
learn.
useless.
There are some things they use, not all that are useless, because you have things you can't, for
Most-
example, basic math, it makes sense.
So
right?
that say basic.
Basic maths, it makes sense.
Most
You
things I
need
learn at
basic
school.
math.
Most things I learn at school.
If you do IT and anything, they need some IT knowledge from
Most
because
things
software
I learn
everything.
at school.
You see me, like,
that point that feeds into his point in the sense that isn't fat or bloatware. That's practical stuff.
yeah, but the point I make still. So school itself is really just the way me see it is just a structure. So you go through school to learn, yes, but when I really look at it, what you leave school with is just a title or a piece of paper that says you did that.
Not
That's
stuck.
so that's what it is. Because for example, there are persons who go through school, and they're not really smart in that. We can go in depth with that. But you can go through school, pass the test them, but you're not very practical where you learn. That's on the other side of schooling too. You can be somebody who gets straight A's, they go to the working world, you apply the thing that you learn, and another man in the class when they're back again, BSc, that's barely a pass. And go in the working world, in my clap.
But
So
that again, that also feeds into bloatware, because if you remove the bloatware, you get down to the hard facts of what you need, then we can really take the men from the boys, the people who actually can do it, and the people who can't do it. Because at the end of the day, I'm not going to test you upon why you open the door. I'm not going to test you upon a grill. You need to open the door.
No,
but when you go to school, they
Yeah.
tell you say you need to paint the house, you need to put up the curtain them, you need to get a fish tank in the house for open the door. No!
No, so
None of that you
that's
need.
my larger point doing now. But my point I make is you go through school on all levels.
Yeah.
For example, what is a CXC? CXC is just a piece of paper where show say it's your certification. You did that. Most of your CXC subject them you know you them. What is CAPE? What is the degree? So the school structure just provide you with that kind of like a certification really, the right word to use. And then that certification what them claim them gear now, you're supposed to use it now, and apparently you're supposed to work for you get jobs and everything, the better jobs. But we understand say in society you can go through all of that, and that's the problem me have with. Because you see if the structure work where it should work, where your degree actually counts as a degree in the world, and because you know what I'm if you pay the money and you study extra levels, and so me stop a cape and you decide say you want to go degree and everything there, you pay extra money and you come out and you pass, you see me, you should be of somewhat an advantage to me. Right. So if the society was really designed that way, we should be where a man with him bachelors, or a man I got more than likely get an advantage over a man with probably just
experience,
a diploma or associate degree. You see me? If society was structured that way, I would have no problem with the school structure. The thing is, my biggest problem with it is, you go through all that, you get the title, we're supposed to work for you, but the title is not working for you. Because you end up working with a man, same level as you know, same workplace, you know, where you never go spend the money where you will spend on it, never go through the all hours of study, all them things there. Because at the end of the day, because you come back to your guys' point now, you go through all of that, but all you really need in the real working world was just the basics. You never need the additional fat everything else that them teach you.
So that feeds into 2 points. Because is a process and then after.
Yeah.
Because again, you spend so many fucking years at school, brother, and you learn fuck all. You learn nothing that you actually need.
Let's say nothing.
You learn fuck all that you actually need. Because really and truly,
you
never need to go to school for learn basic maths. You don't need that. You never need.
Somebody could have just teach
exactly.
Right?
You never need. For example, my grasp of the English language, I never needed school for that.
Yeah, but
my parents.
But
I'm gonna show you. Hold on. Let's show you advice, brother. My grasp and your grasp of certain things is easier because of exposure. So my grasp of the English language is, brother, English was not even a subject for me because I'm a relationship with my parents and them you know, you go through them things there. So the basics that you really need, critical thinking and them things, brother, they're not taught. So realistically, you go to school for a piece of paper, bloatware, and for somebody to make some money. That's the way you really go to school. And that and the fact say, them don't know what to do with how much billion of picnic on the earth right now. What them to do with them for 24 hours. You need someone to put them. Because me go work, go do this and this. Where we going to put them picnic? We need to put them somewhere. We need to put them somewhere. Realistically, that's what they did. Because, and again, and the thing is, again, post-tertiary and post-school, you left school, and them still like a fucking teacher where you need for knowing at the job anyways. Because you go there with no experience. Everywhere you go, them not just say, oh, you have a degree. Alright, what you gonna do? You gonna build a space rocket there for me and fuck off with you. No! Them show you what them need you for do and them show you what you need for learn. Them still teach you again. So me just spend 4 years, $4 million for what? For come back again to be taught again? So that you tell me, say, you pay $4 million on a piece of paper for go back. But somebody else teach me again when I just pay $4 million for learn.
So can pay devil advocate now?
Yeah, got you.
So the point number one, you left the point long time, see, but the point, you made the point where you were saying you don't necessarily need school to learn the basics, right? So like basic math, for example, English language and everything there, which may be true. You have persons who go to school, you have homeschool, you have very people get homeschool, right? The thing is though, I look on the larger structure though, yeah, somebody have a teacher person, have a teacher in there, brother. So it still comes down to the school structure. So you might not need to be physically in school, but if a parent or teacher, for example, my point is, it have to start from somewhere.
Well,
no, we not go. Don't we not go to just one. Let's eliminate school structure, right?
But that's the point.
And let's say there was no school structure and we were just brought in this world, for example. everything starts from somewhere. You know? So it even hard to eliminate school structure because you still say,
So my point
oh,
is,
you gotta learn from somebody else without.
So what my point is, the structure of school is wrong. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, and
So,
I mean, I
so
agree
what
with
I'm
you,
saying is, granted, you need to educate the children, you need to educate the younger people of this world. There must be a better way that either we can flesh out the school system itself or eliminate it altogether and find a way to localize it to the whole. Because realistically, again, it's impractical. It's getting to the point of impracticality. Because at the end of the day, it serves no purpose. At the end of the day, when you leave this degree program or any program, somebody who's more experienced is going to get the job over you. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to say, me not going to risk my business for somebody who don't know what the fuck them do. That man I going to tell you, you know. And you can't go around the reason there. Yeah, I'm spending $4 million and I'm spending 4 years. But me not going to trust my business with somebody who has zero experience. A madness me I going to do. That's practicality.
I agree with most of it, but disagree with completely getting rid of school.
I didn't say completely getting rid. I said you can either get rid of the school system and localize it or make the school system better.
Alright, so the second part we make would be the way to go.
What
Yeah?
is-
If we can learn, flush out the additional, the add-ons, because other things are just add-ons, you know. You know, they're not practically no way, shape, or form, you know, and it's reality. There are things in school where they will get your thinking going on, brother. So,
Yeah.
but for the little things, then.
But then,
right, for
but
example,
I must say again,
critical thinking, the ability
it's
to.
not taught in school. There's nothing in school like taught.
No, it is not. No, it is not.
Absolutely not.
Right, be fair. I speak from my
What?
experience. I speak from my experience.
Like
Yeah,
what?
so
Let me
they
ask
don't
you what.
teach critical thinking.
Let me ask you what.
Listen.
They
What-
teach critical remembering in the book.
No. Hold on.
Calm down,
I'm
guys,
gonna
calm
give you
down,
some
calm down.
examples
No,
and
I'm
scenarios.
not getting examples. Calm down.
Alright.
Calm down. So, in school, you're not gonna have a lesson where it says critical thinking, but it is factual, at least from my experience. You can have things or subject in school where develop a critical thinking, dog. So, for example,
What?
math can develop a critical thinking, brother. You know, physically, you have to use one algebra. Alright, for example, alright, may I use subject I'm doing then. Subjects like literature, where it asks you to read one, because everybody read the same book, you know, right? Or the same poem or whatever, right? They ask everybody to read the same poem, and they ask you now for decipher now, whether they ask you to choose a point and strengthen it with evidence, or give your opinion on it. Them things they develop your thinking.
Alright,
So
hold
my
on.
point.
I want to interject to say,
I-
I don't think you completely understand what Kenton is saying. Alright, listen. You point to the aspect to say, alright, everybody read the same book, and they might ask you for decipher it, but at the end of the day, I don't think critical thinking is like you. Critical thinking is not me, you and you reasoning to a level and then coming up with the same end result. Critical thinking is coming up with many.
No, but you're misinterpreting
But if everybody read the same book, naturally everybody should go align, bro.
No, but that point I tell you though, in literature that's not true. You see,
Yeah,
for example,
but
when we did literature,
Is that
listen,
alright, cool.
listen. We did literature in school. Come literature all the way up to a Cape.
Yeah, the Cape literature, man.
Yeah. So in literature, there's this thing where we say. I remember, right? So there's this thing in school where there's this thing in literature where we say, yo, there's no wrong or right answer in literature, for example.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, that's why you don't have a multiple choice for literature, or yes or no answer literature, because it's opinionated, right? So me and you can read the same question and have completely different view now. There can be a.
It's completely opinionated.
So
Listen, guys, listen, man. It is not completely opinionated, but for example, they can take a line. Maybe a clear example. They can take a line out of the book and say our character out of the book, right? But me and you have two completely different view of the character, and the same character, you know. We read the same book. Kenton is the character. In my eyes, Kenton was the protagonist. He the man. He do some bad things, you know. But we say him necessary. View him as a hero. You view him though, so he's the villain, you know, like that. Just like how life comes. Me I can know the same bird, but we have two completely different view. So me I can read the same book in literature, right? And once we talk about the character, and the question can be as simple as, was Kenton a protagonist or antagonist? Right? And you can choose anyone, you know, because there's no wrong or right answer. But anyone you choose, you have to know, use evidence or facts from the book, and then use your own opinion for decipher and present a case. You come like for example, a lawyer in court. You can have a man in court where.
So may I say, hold on.
No, listen,
Let him talk. So may I have one question.
The point where I make though, chance. the critical thinking. The things like them, it help develop critical thinking, brother.
Alright.
Have to.
I'm understanding your system.
Have to.
I understand the
There's no subject in school called critical thinking. But there's things they do in school that help you develop that thinking there, brother. You can't go around it. Me can't go around that.
I concur.
I use my experience. You guys can have different opinions, but I use my experience.
Yeah, I mean, I said that makes sense, but my thing is, there's a right and wrong answer, isn't it? Because some people get more than others, right?
No, Kenton.
No, me ask that question. Some people get more than others.
There's
No.
From the question itself, there's a right and wrong answer.
Yes, I mean, some people get more than others. Some people
because some people were able to use their critical thinking, or if I use the term for example. To the question itself. So for example, if I did say, let's use the same question. If I say the character was the antagonist, I'm not lose no mark by saying that, you know. I used that the character was a protagonist. There's no marks given to you by saying that, you know. The marks is not given based on my evidence I'm gonna present now, right? Because if obvious evidence that the fiction said him either can be an antagonist or a protagonist. Would I read the same book, I have to know, say, alright, based on what I read, this is my opinion, this is what I decipher from it, and this is my case that I present. It's time when I get a lawyer in court really, and you present your side of the case. So there's literally no right or wrong answer. You don't lose marks by saying one, and you gain marks by saying one. It's really based on the evidence that you present.
But there's a more favored response.
Exactly.
No, but which is the more favored response? You are choosing you're choosing which is the most favored response. I've literally seen where we get our tests, literally get tests, me choose the opposite from somebody else, I will probably get the same grade.
Akele.
No, but that's the thing.
Hold on. Because you see, this is why I can't see how what you're saying is a strong point. Alright, look at this. Let's take science and all of them subject out there. We have focused on literature, right?
Yeah. Just an example.
I'm pretty sure I know we mark the paper them and the teacher mark the paper them, and how the teacher grade the marks is determined by what? By their opinion or what the syllabus I tell them.
No, but listen, alright.
No, yeah.
Obviously, they have a market structure. But then, listen, guys, listen. Come on, listen, brother. You don't understand. There is no right or wrong answer, brother. No, I don't think you understand it. Him thinks, him try to say, because a human being a market, which is true, you know. Human being can have fair opinion, you know. So the teacher probably say, no, he was an antagonist. But factually is, if me present a case, he was a protagonist in the story, and me present all the evidence. Now, say this all the time, but as a teacher, that is what she should be looking for. Because the question again is not a yes or no question. The question is that you present evidence. I'm going to use an example, guys, because that's my experience. That helps develop a critical thinking.
Based on that.
No, I understand I understand what you say, but I think you don't fully understand. But you probably still have in your mind, say, there's a favored response. And there might be, you know, but favored to who? No, but favored to who?
That's my point. Favored to who? And then if it's favored to who, then there is a right or wrong answer or a favored answer.
Chance. That's literally the ground.
If I write the syllabus and I tell you as a teacher that, yo, a child can explain, alright, the ball is black. Alright, cool. Why is the ball black? I think the ball is black because it's based on the shadow ray. But based on the answer that I tell you is the answer when we present to you for say, yo, them for reach this, basically what I say is right as close to that.
That's why I strategically chose. That's why I strategically chose. That's why I strategically chose literature as an example.
Again,
no, listen.
This is not critical.
No, calm down, Kenton. Calm down, no chance, but you still not fully understand what I'm saying. That's why I could have choose many subjects, you know.
Yes, guys.
But it's a reason why I'm actually I choose literature as an example.
Yeah. I understand what you say, but
literally chance. I'm making that some facts.
You can do that without.
We can be
like.
No. And again, this is my opinion now. Things like them, some like them, they develop my thinking to me, brother. So me not gonna say, school and develop my thinking, brother.
Alright, cool.
How many really need school for that?
That's my point.
You're right.
That's my point. And again, there's the and then let's put it like this. There just isn't enough literature subjects, as in quote-unquote literature as an example, to develop your critical thinking. So there aren't enough subjects in school that are geared towards that. You get me? I say? So there aren't enough subjects that actually are practical. That's the thing. That's my thing.
Broski. I agree.
Practicality. There's no
by the way,
practicality.
By the way,
And
And then at the end of the day, you have
Well,
at the end of the day, brother. Me have what subject me have, brother? What the fuck you gonna help me for do my fucking taxes, brother? I do my taxes every year. How that help me, brother? This is something what I actually come up with, but yes, them know for fucking solve an equation. When you gonna solve an equation in life?
listen.
When you gonna use Pythagoras theorem, do.
Listen.
Yeah,
I true that, brother.
That's what
When we gonna use E equal MC squared, brother?
By the way,
I'll never use E equal MC squared, brother.
I say, yo,
Yeah,
the
but-
structure of school,
It is rubbish.
That half a lot more
I
than
was
need practically.
I really just was advocating to say, yo,
Yeah.
critical thinking needs to really taught in school because mates. Alright, mates.
I
I was in a training meeting once, right? And she proposed a question to challenge our critical thinking, right? The question was this: there is a freezer and there is an elephant. No details about the size of the elephant or the size of the freezer is disclosed.
I know that.
There's a freezer and an elephant. If you get the elephant into the freezer, how would you do it? So, you know, you have people where naturally start to ask questions. What's the size of the freezer? What's the size of the elephant? A girl proposed that answer to say she carried the elephant go Antarctica. Technically, if you make
Bad
that is
answer.
putting an elephant. Now, to me,
That is critical
reason why I
thinking.
cannot
That
say
is
literature
bad.
is critical
But it's-
thinking because
but
at the
it-
end
it
of
make
the
you
day,
define, it
there
make you
is a end, like it's like a fucking scheme, brother. They all go back to one main road as opposed to critical thinking when you have one main road and different.
Alright, you make it for now. You see the example you give me? You got a while ago? That's a perfect example of a literature question for an exam.
How is that a literature question?
Because dog,
If you read a story, how is that a literature question?
brother, because in the story chance, alright, oh my god, chance, may I can it to the same music, brother. There, for example, if music and music good and you think it bad, there's no wrong and right answer, brother. It is opinionate. There's things in life. There's things.
But we're not grading a literature book.
No, but listen,
We're
the chance.
reading a story and we're supposed to recite our understanding of the story.
No, oh my god, chance. There are things in life. There are tangible things in life
Why you
where
have to so close to the
literally,
mic? The mic
where
not really
literally
nothing.
there is no wrong or right answer, brother. There is just your opinion and my opinion, brother. And me I think say my opinion right, you know. And you think say your opinion right. But if you look on the practicality of it, there's no wrong or right answer, brother. So there is a story in the book. A story, right? The same story, in brother. Just like how me can listen to the same music and you and say, yo, this bad. This is your view. This is your bad line them. And I can listen to the song there and say, yo, no brother, that's soft, but that's not bad. I'm probably like one other line on the song, right? Me and you can read the same fucking story. Because I'm telling you very clear. Me and you can read the same fucking story. The same story from front to back. About these characters. The question is not about the story done. So for example, the question is not going to say who kills who in the book. The fucking story is true. So if somebody kills somebody in the book, is a yes or no answer that, right? Me can't say, no dog, Kenton kill him. But the story, they say him kill him. You see me? That's a yes or no. Listen. Because I'm doing after this.
Yeah,
Because I'm trying to find.
but
But
chop
listen,
the thing, bro, and you need to
No,
understand.
no,
the
Chan,
reason
hold on.
why I'm saying
No,
it,
no. I'm fine up
Don't
pint,
make sense.
dog. I'm fine up pint, brother. Hold on, man.
But next, you have
I'ma
to talk
find
about
out.
kill off and you still, I'm
No.
still there.
No,
You
listen,
still there.
brother, listen.
And I don't kill you off after you're done.
Listen,
just
alright,
one.
you can try to keep me up. Hold on, no? So the point is, the question is not going to be, did Kenton kill Chance in the book? That's a yes or no answer. That's a freezing practical answer. But if I say, in the book, in your opinion, you hear the word? In your fucking opinion, was Kenton a protagonist or a fucking antagonist, right? Your fucking again opinion. See? Me and you, for example. I can say, Kenton, in my opinion, is this. You can say, Kenton, in your opinion, in that. Let's use that one line there alone, right? That one line on the exam paper gives you no fucking marks. Zin? I'm not playing up with that. So if me say Kenton was an antagonist,
0.
and you say Kenton was an antagonist,
0.
guess what? A 0 get, brother. We fail. Guess what give you the fucking marks, brother? We're gonna now use the same fucking story we read, brother. Listen. We're gonna use the same story we read and our own understanding of that story. See? And our opinion again, you know, brother. Because it comes out your opinion, you know. But the story might have, they might give a question, for example, which give facts to support both sides, right? obviously, because it's an exam, you want to use them mind and pick out facts. It's like I say, it's law. See? So you got to pick out your facts where support your side of the story. Come now, give a girl in a relationship. She always have to pick out the facts to support your side of the story, right? She know why you put your facts, you part of them, brother. You're part of your facts, not your mind, no. But your opinion that. She pick out the things that fit fair side of the story. You're going to do the same, right? The same thing. I will pick out the facts that support my side of the story. Kenton is the protagonist in the story. Do I say that? Because the book said this Kenton did this in the book, Kenton had done in the book. You're going to read the same book and you're going to say, here, me take out this out of the book, Kenton is an antagonist because Kenton did this in the book. These are facts in the book, you know, because both scenarios happened in the book. But we interpreted those things as two different things. We might choose to ignore that part the way I'm doing, you know. But because I said, this way I'm doing over here, so, more proofs of error. It's more good than evil. Everybody have good and evil, but it's more good than evil. So I stick with the good side there, and these are the evidence that is good. You cannot tell me, say, that is not you literally using your fucking brain and saying, this is what I decipher from this. There are facts, you know, bear in mind, all this, there are factual things in the book where you rely upon too. See? But for the most part, you're using these facts and you're using your brain to present these facts to support your cause. The better you present this information to support your cause, no more favor. The iron marks are different, brother. A marks. The iron marks they can get.
Response. Alright, here.
No. For example, how do you explain? Me and a girl in my class. She choose. For example, let's say I don't want to reach now, but let's say she choose antagonist, and me choose protagonist, and me and I get the same marks in the class. How you explain that?
That's impossible.
Oh, it is not. That is literature, brother.
Alright,
That is Kenton. You understand what I say, brother? That is literature. It is not.
I disagree with them, but understand here.
No, but that is literature for true. That literally that happens.
You can make a comment. So, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm
saying.
Yeah.
I understand. Because, first of all, I don't think someone can give them opinion of something if there's a choice to it. Because if somebody give you a choice, you say, oh, is either you're going to write this up or you're going to write this up. You don't allow. You don't. There's no opinion to it. It's either you choose here, sir, or you choose here, sir. And hold on. Let me tell you how.
I'm getting me that point. It's a strong point.
Hold on. Let me tell you how me critical thinking. There's nothing there for you. Alright. Basically, what you said in simple context to me is I have an open book test. The answer them there, I just need to find it. That I really need critical thinking to me. Hold on. I'm continuing. Now, critical thinking.
You know, all uneducated people still. Big man thing. And
critical thinking, I'm sure you have a vibes. Discovery Channel. There's a bird, crow. Them say, one of the smartest bird. Now, there was this episode, and this is what me as critical thinking. The bird got there, and when you look at him, forget to the tree, and they knock on the door now move. Notice that there's a string because after them create an environment for it. Now, if they knock, nobody never teach this bird how, so you're pulling the string, opens the door for the tree come out. So in there, you tug on it, the tree come out. They do it again, instead of now him and knock on it, you pull on the string again, and the thing come out. So there wasn't anything in there. It's like them just put the situation there, and him just find a way out of it on his own.
Alright, then don't lose the point. But what may I say? The example I give you literature, guys, I'm not saying that in itself is the best example of critical thinking. I think we not lose the point. Before we argue about it, I want to understand my point. I'm not saying the example I gave you of that literature and the scenario is the best example of critical thinking. I'm trying to say, guys, those situations help to develop your brain. What do you use to function?
So Lani, that's why I just said. That's why I said to you. I understand what you're saying.
And that's all I'm on, brother. But no, Charles, but I think you understand now. Because you're still up to the point. No, tell me if I'm wrong. You're still up to the point
No,
where.
but at the end of the day,
You're literally to the point where you're saying there is a wrong or right answer to the thing.
No,
brother.
listen.
So that you have to tell me.
Hold on, relax now. Come and see you get your shirt all hot and all them things. Relax, bro.
True, I'm not
Understand who me a
Turn on
try.
this.
Understand who me a try.
We're not
16.
Just like this man said, my main point, let's make it clear, my point is that I don't think literature develops critical thinking. But that's my point. My supporting points are this, and you made a very good point earlier. Me not really see how me reading a book, me see a story, most times fictional, and then me have to basically answer a question based on my opinion. I don't think that's critical thinking. But if you now put me into a class and lecture, I don't even think a lecturer says, she gives me a situation, she gives me a scenario, she gives me quantity, she gives me details about this. Again, I think that critical thinking is no wrong or right answer because there is an end result.
Alright, so what is the
How do you
difference?
go about
Alright,
that?
what is the difference? And I'm understanding your point. And by the way, we can respectfully disagree for the matter. But not have the same opinion. But let's try
Me
show
didn't
them my
never say
point.
until my dog said,
No.
say what I'm saying. And
No,
him
but what is the difference between you being at work and being provided with a scenario and you reading a book that gives you the scenario?
Because the scenario itself doesn't come with a context or anything. And then at the same time,
But alright, so but you understand you can read a book and there's a scenario in the book which didn't provide much of a context, which is why you can even argue the point, right? Because if it's a factual statement in the book, the arguing the point would not even make sense, brother, because you're going to get it wrong. You see? So for example, you're not going to argue a point in the book, like I say, I'm going to use a killer as example. If Kenton kill somebody in the book, he's a killer. Why am I use the example all the while? But Kenton a killer, see?
Hi, guys.
But if Kenton kill somebody in the book, we would not ask you to argue the point.
Did
He kill somebody? You see?
However,
But there might be a scenario in the book, see, which provides, let's say, and by the way, even with context, so you're saying that if there's context provided, you do not need critical thinking for that? Is that what you're saying?
no, okay, listen.
No, more understand. More understand.
Because we depend this too long. What me I say is this.
No, answer the question then. We need
We
to
ain't no
understand.
dog, we ain't no dog. Just listen to me I say, me I say, yo. You not understand, say, yo. Me I say, literature really I say. To me, you just give a point and you say, yo, you're not gonna ask nobody to critically think why a man kill a man. The end result was already provided. You ask why the end result exists. Critical thing to me challenges you to come up with an end result, and there's no wrong end result.
Alright, but is that the only form of critical thinking, Chance?
No, but that's
That-
what I'm
that-
saying.
that does
Literature
not-
does not even do that. So why?
No, but listen to Chance.
Anyways,
Alright. First of all, let's put a pin.
So guys,
Let's
to speak-
define critical thinking.
Alright, hold on.
a tertiary education with them.
Attention education.
No. Let's get before we cut. Alright, define critical thinking. What is critical thinking?
I'll be honest with you, we are talking about church. After we're done, we'll talk about critical thinking.
To be considered off here.
Yeah. So my point is, school, as I said, you can either localize school to the home or you cut the flesh of school. That's all I'm saying on tertiary education, because at the end of the day, the only reason why tertiary school exists is, again, you need somewhere to put hundreds of thousands of millions of billions of children. For the 8 hours their parents are occupied at work, you need to do something with them. Secondly, you find out, say, if you put them in this place, you can make X amount of trillions off of them. So fucking might as well. So how will you keep them people in other places as long as possible to make as much money as possible? Give them as much information, use as information as we can, and then have them pay for it. That is what school is. Until we find a way to get rid of all of that shit, school is useless. Tertiary education, in that sense, is useless. Again, if you choose to indulge in this thing, by all means, go ahead and get your paper if you're financially able to do so.
Right.
If you're not financially able to do so, again, go ahead and get yourself in debt. But for me, it makes no sense.
And that's your opinion, and I can respect that.
I think
I don't share the same opinion, but I can respect that, sir.
I think
Alright.
I just want to point it out to say, while we're still on tertiary education, I
Wow.
think
Wow.
We haven't been there
Wow.
for a long time.
You were there?
I think just like all levels of education, tertiary education is necessary for a level of exposure and experience that a person or
Wait for
an
that last
individual should go through, because you go through one big thing. This is not the only thing, but one big thing. A lot of people go through phases, brother. The moment them start go college or university.
Because remember, say school is not just about the intellectual part of things.
Yeah, the
School also develop your
social
socialization, all them things there.
So let's put it like
those,
this.
So those things, for
So
example,
hold on,
what
hold on.
Kenton is saying.
It should.
Well,
It doesn't, but it should. No way, brother. School, brother. I'm gonna present this point in a different topic already. We're not going at that because that's actually in the jar. It does not. It doesn't facilitate for the knit and grit that you need in everyday society.
No, not.
Social interactions, it doesn't facilitate it. It doesn't facilitate healthy or teach about healthy communication, healthy coexisting. Because if it did, we wouldn't have half of the problems that we do right now. Because we have billions of children in this place, and we don't teach them certain things. We don't teach them cooperation, working in groups, effectively. Let me put it like that, effectively. Because you telling me if I work with a person over there, so I will come back with a piece of paper right on it, give you a 90. Fuck it, Jammo, I do all of the work, I'm sitting over and part chat to one girl. That is not teaching me how to work with people
but
effectively.
But we are looking at it, and I'm agree with you by the way. Most of the ones I'm agreeing now. But you are looking at it from the point of, alright, the social when I get to the work life. But there are parts before your work life, but you're necessary, brother. So, and again, I agree with you, brother, but may I say is, I would not go as far as to say it doesn't develop in any at all, because socialization exists in every group, brother. In your household, in your peers, your immediate peers in your community, in churches, in schools.
So my question is, my question is basically this. My thing is just this. If you don't get to the goal, there's no supplement for not getting there.
No, but
so
so
the minute gains that you've made is still not it's still not sufficient for the amount that you're going to put people through. Because I'm for talk to two people and I can handle myself in this particular context. That not subjugate me to 6 years of high school, 6 years of prep school, 4, 10, 15 years of college. That's my point. That's my point.
But that was not my point.
My point is the minute gains is not sufficient for the amount that the time, the money, and the brain power that you spend in this place. The gains that you get is just not, the return is just not there.
Alright, can I finish my point now, please?
Sure. No, but that's true.
This is crazy.
I go back to the minimalistic view of it kinda does. No, it fucking doesn't. Because if it doesn't get to the goal, you're wasting your time.
Kenton,
but sure, it kinda does. So that makes sense.
Kenton,
but sure.
Kenton, Murray Jr.
Alright, go ahead.
We can finish my point, please. Yeah, because him not stop.
Alright, let's see that.
Right. By the way, Kenton, more you know this, because I never think you argue with you, know. I agree with you. All what you say is totally correct. School does not provide you with efficient and the right level of all them somebody I mentioned. Whether I want to be social, intellectual, the critical thinking, have to deal with the brain, the way you carry yourself, all them things there. School does not provide you with all of that. In reality, when I go out in the real world, I want to start learning them things there. See? All I'm saying is, you cannot go around the importance of just the structure that schools provide though. It is it's minimal. But those might not directly impact your work life, for example. But they might have to get one girl. And again, I don't talk about life, I don't talk about work life. And this is just my opinion, by the way. So it might not help your work life, but it can help you get one girl because no, for real. Socialization help you.
No.
Alright, being around girls.
Hold on. We're gonna talk about this after. So make your point to wrap up the podcast.
Yeah. Guys, we're gonna end the podcast, but we'll continue the conversation off here. You see me?
But yeah, your final point.
No, that's my final point, see, because I'm not going to stop if I continue.
Alright.
So, yeah.
So guys.
In conclusion, for me, in conclusion,
yeah,
do what you want with the school thing still. I mean, it has its structure. Mm-hmm. It is not perfect. There's a lot more that we can do to really make it more practical. Mm-hmm. That's the problem with it. It's not practical enough for us, really. Because you go to school and you come out and you really, half of what you do at school or 3/4 what you do at school, not really practical in your everyday life. And that's the big problem. And they pay so much for it. It's crazy. But to each his own still, do a fit way, see me?
Final thoughts on tertiary education.
Yeah, as I say, Just practicality, my leader. Big up Mr. Monday for Archers NTA, isn't it?
Alright. Chance. Practicality. Sorry, tertiary education.
Yeah, but it boils down to that. To me, still, I think, as I was saying earlier, Andy and Hannah will try to say it as fast as possible.
Wow.
I think really and truly the government likes to emphasize only parts of education. So like the big whoop about, hey, 95% of students in bypass GSAT maths and whatever. And only that. I feel like once you pass the level, the government is like shit towards education, brother. So it's like, to me, I think a lot more can be done. There should be a balance, both theoretical and practicality. There should be a balance. Know as much as you know theoretical, as much as you know practical, because you can apply both in so many different scenarios. So, as reason why I say government, because I just don't feel like we have enough resources to emphasize or build up that practical part of tertiary education, and I think that's the main problem. But yeah, in some way,
and again, my point I've been sticking to right through. If you have the money to do this thing, go
Do
ahead
it.
and get a piece of paper.
straight.
If you cannot see a way out of getting this piece of paper, save yourself the debt, find a job, make your money, and find a way for do this a different way. But
Straight.
putting yourself in debt for a piece of paper that probably not going to carry you further than your front door is a waste of your time and everybody else's time. Cool?
Yeah.
Man. Alright guys, and that ends another episode of the Grung podcast, dog. Jaja. Fucking hell. Yeah, dog, we just have the dog over there. Jam Skull and FPS guest. God.
Big up, man.
Chance, yeah.
Out there.
Kwame.
I can say Akele people.
Tsunami, say tsunami.
Tsunami.
We are dealing with
And you don't know, Kenton. Guys, if you want follow our socials, you can follow us on Twitter at GrungFloor. You can send us a DM if you want to be a guest on the podcast. If you have topics that you probably want us to put in a topic generator, you can send those at GrungFloor on Twitter. If you have promotions, things that you want us to promote and talk about on the podcast, you can send an email to grungfloorstudios@gmail.com, and then, transfer the funds and we'll talk about this after conditions apply. Yeah, guys, again, thanks. This has been a very good episode of the Grung podcast. I know this is a content after the mic done. After we lock off,
Most definitely.
it's a content.
It's a wrap.
But anyways, Grung.
Grub.
What?